Hey guys, now you can follow me on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/UltraMaximusReviews.
Ooh, that's a huge bitch!
What?
Holy shit, he's really up there.
Hey, how you doing?
You suck. Hey guys, Ultra Maximus back with another toy review, and today we're going to take a look at another Marvel Legends figure, and it's the She-Hulk from the Super Skrull Build-A-Figure line, which is basically the new Fantastic Four line. And yeah, I found this figure at my local GameStop here in Greenwood, Indiana. It's one of the few places still open around town. They closed the Greenwood Park Mall because of the COVID-19 bullshit that is going on in this country right now. And I went to go get Animal Crossing for my daughter, and came across this beauty. And this is the first time I've seen it in hand. It was 20 bucks, and I figured, why not? We'll go ahead and take a look at it. I'm not a fan, I gotta say, of the sculpt. I didn't care for it when the reveal came out. People are going nuts for this. There are a lot of people that really dig it. The sculpt looks good. It's the paint job I don't like. I don't like the green. I guess there's supposed to be cuts on her arms, and she looks kind of like a faded green, and I don't know. I would have preferred a She-Hulk that was in the Fantastic Four costume, or I don't know, something that's not this. But I figured, why not? Let's go ahead and review it. Maybe I'll change my mind when it's out of package. So let's go ahead and jump in there and take a look at the box art. So here we have the She-Hulk in the packaging, and I'm just not a fan of this figure, really. I might change my mind when I get her out of the package, but I don't know, she looks like a zombie or something. I just can't quite figure out why I don't like it. I'm pretty sure it's the paint, which is, of course, emulating a particular look in the comics, and it's the modern look, and I just don't like it. I'd rather have her in a Fantastic Four costume, or maybe if she was a red incarnation of the She-Hulk, the Savage She-Hulk, I think that would be a lot cooler. I think it would fit this mold better. But it is what it is. She's got her part for the Super Skrull. It says Hulk at the bottom. I would have thought it would have had a She-Hulk logo up here at the top, but it does not, which is kind of weird. Side of the package has some modern comic art that matches this particular figure. Same thing over there. So just kind of a close-up. There she is, nothing at the top. There she is in the box, looking all kinds of She-Hulky. There's the Hulk logo, and then here's the artwork on the side. Yeah, it's got the same green marks on her face that's on there, so yeah. I don't know what version this is. If you do, leave a comment below. Please educate me. I know it's a more modern incarnation, but I just don't know what it's from because I don't read the newer Fantastic Four comics. But we got the artwork on the back with She-Hulk right there. There's a tiny write-up. All the other figures to build the Super Skrull. I don't have any inclination to build this thing. I've got Dr. Doom, which is pretty cool. I've seen all the other Fantastic Four figures, but they just don't interest me because I've got the Walgreens versions, and they're a lot better. The only one out of this group that even remotely like is the Thing, and he looks like he's essentially a repaint of that Walgreens figure, and he looks good. It's a good sculpt. If you didn't get the Walgreens version, this is not a bad thing to get. But I have no interest because I have the Walgreens Thing. If you want to read the write-up, you can pause right there and do so. There's the artwork, looking cool. Here are the other figures in the wave to build the Super Skrull if you are so inclined. I is not. And yeah, that's about it for the package. Let's go ahead and get the She-Hulk out of box and see what we really think. So here we have the gray She-Hulk out of the packaging, And, you know, there are things I like about the figure and things I don't. Now, at the beginning of the review here when she was in box, I really didn't know much about this character. I have since looked her up. She is the Gray She-Hulk, which is why she kind of looks like a zombie to me, I guess. And it was a run of Hulk that was done around, I want to say around 2016, after Civil War II. I want to say it looked like a Japanese-American female was the writer, the whole concept of this character. And the idea is actually very cool. It was right after Bruce Banner, the Hulk, had died, and Jennifer, instead of being the constant, happy-go-lucky, always green Hulk, she changed. And when she would Hulk out, she turned into the Gray Hulk, which kind of mirrored Bruce Banner's original concept, right? So she would turn into this mean, nasty, angry Hulk, and it was just kind of green or gray colored instead of green. And I like the concept, but there's some marks missing on this figure. And they might be nitpicks. I don't know. I think it's a good base figure, but they could have done some things a little bit better. We'll kind of talk about that. First of all, she comes with right hands for the Super Skrull, so you get a regular arm or hand or whatever you want to call it, and then you get the kind of, I guess that's the invisible stretchy arm. So it's a combination of Mr. Fantastic's and the Invisible Woman's arm, which if I was going to build it, I would definitely use that because that's just kind of fun. I like that. She also comes with a pair of open grabby hands, which I just don't like at all. She's a Hulk. She needs her fisted hands. It's kind of cool that she comes with some extra hands, but I'm not going to use them. Now, the figure itself actually sculpted for the most part really well. There are 3 spots that really kind of irk me. My biggest irk is in the paint, which I will talk about more when I get into the actual close-up of the figure. But for a base figure, this is pretty cool. We could get at least 3 or 4 different She-Hulks out of this. Now, articulation on the figure. So the head looks down pretty far, so I definitely dig that. Does not look up much at all because the hair looks around back and forth. She's got a diaphragm joint at the top here, but she doesn't go up or down very much. There is no waist articulation, which is one of my huge gripes. I don't know why they did not include that right there. That just kind of irritates me, really. Her arms move up and down, but the joints are super, super tight. She's got a twist at the upper arm. She has a kind of a single joint elbow, and this is what irks me here with the elbow. It's got these pegs that just stick out. I don't like those at all. It's like a double jointed elbow peg on a single joint, which is kind of annoying. The only way it looks normal if it's straight out. Her hands do twist. They are also on a hinge joint. Then the legs. This irritates the crap out of me too. I hate all these gaps in the hips. That looks terrible. I don't know why they did that. The legs kick out that far. They feel like they want to break to me. I just, they feel weird. They kick up really far, but they don't kick far back at all because she's got this big o badonkadonk. She's got a twist at the upper leg. Again, I don't like that because that's tight and it feels funky against this weird hip. She's got double jointed knees, which is nice. I definitely dig that. Nothing at the upper legs, and then her feet are on hinge joints, and they do have that crazy ankle rocker pivot we love, with this being the widest possible stance with both feet still flat on the floor. So taking a closer look at the figure itself, I gotta say, I love the sculpt. They did a great job with it. It looks really, really good. The hair, the way it's molded, I don't like that piece of hair in the face, but I guess it is what it is. The ripped up shirt looks cool. The green eyes look kind of weird to me. I do not like the cuts on her at all. I hate that. And I know that's the way it was in the comics. I don't like it. But yeah, again, the sculpt looks good. I love this shirt, the rip up, the hair, the paint in the hair. This is something we don't get a lot with these figures. She's got kind of black hair with the green stripes, coloring, dry brush in there, and that looks gorgeous. Really, really looks like the character. But overall, I mean, really great job with the sculpt. It was just a miss for me with the paint on those little neon green cuts. Taking a look at the midsection of the figure, again, love this sculpt. She is ripped as hell, as she should be. She is the She-Hulk. Love the sculpt, love the design, the shirt, the rips, her arms. I do not like those elbow joints, though. That irritates me. The green cuts everywhere piss me off. It's very distracting when you're looking at the figure. She has a huge ghetto booty going on, which is kind of cool. Definitely dig the shape. Ooh la la. But the hips, I don't know. There's something about those I really don't like, especially when you're looking at them from the front. They're just very gappy, and it takes away from the rest of the figure. It's just the weakest point of the figure, and oh man, it's a shame because it's a gorgeous looking sculpt. And finally, taking a look at the legs of the figure, again, I really dig the ripped up blue jeans. I think that looks neat. The legs are a lot better on the lower part of the legs because you don't have all those cuts like you do everywhere else, and I'm just going to keep bitching about that because I don't like them. I've actually seen people remove those off of the figure, which is pretty cool. Again, sculpt's great. Love these rips in the jeans. You know, love how they kind of cut off about her calf. The feet could probably use a little more strength in the joints on the ankles. I feel like, again, those could break. There's something about it that's just not quite connecting right for my figure, but yeah, it is what it is. She's got her little Hulkette toes, which look nice, and, well, they're Hulk feet. What are you going to do? For comparison, here we have the gray She-Hulk with the gray Hulk, and they are two totally different gray colors. In fact, her gray is almost a green in comparison when you look at them side by side. It also doesn't help she's got these green cuts all over her skin. But it's kind of interesting to see the gray She-Hulk with the gray Hulk. I think it's the first time I've ever seen them together, which is very, very cool. And I like the concept of the gray She-Hulk. I'm not sold on this figure. Maybe if they did another version of this with a different paint scheme, I might like it a little bit better. So is the gray She-Hulk from Marvel Legends a figure that you want in your Marvel collection? I'm on the fence with it. I really, really am. I like the sculpt overall, but the paint apps, and there are some minor issues with the sculpt that still keep me on the fence with the figure. If you are a She-Hulk completist, you're going to want this figure. If you like the more modern Marvel Comics characters, this is something that you would want. If you're a Hulk completist, you may want this figure. I think this is a great base to get some other She-Hulk figures out of. I'd like a regular She-Hulk out of this. I'd like one with a Fantastic Four costume. I'd like to get a Savage She-Hulk, a Red Hulk out of this. It's a decent enough sculpt, but they need to do some work. Those hips, there's something about them I don't like. They feel like they're going to break. The fact she doesn't have a twist at the waist really pisses me off. And those elbows are odd, and those little squares that stick up in them just really irritate the crap out of me. I don't know why we just didn't get a double jointed elbow out of this. But the thing that irritates me the most is probably the paint with those green cuts on her. And I know it's out of the comics, but I still don't like it. I think it's distracting. She had plenty of comics where she was in this outfit, in this form, and didn't have those cuts. I think I would rather have a version of that without this. So, yeah, I mean, overall, I think it's a very interesting figure. It's an interesting concept for the character. I like the concept for the character. I don't particularly care for the artwork when I went back and read the books, but definitely interesting, and it's better than I thought it was going to be. I'll give it that. So, for better for worse, there she is, the Gray She-Hulk from Marvel Legends.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, like us on Facebook, and look for more videos in the future.